Welcome in, everyone, to the Challenge After Show. Tonight, we're talking about episode 8 of Challenge Season 37, Spies, Lies, and Allies, The Threat. And we threatened all of you last week because we're all back together finally.
Woo!
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm glad we're all together too. We're back for the recap. I'm excited to be with you guys, and this was an awesome episode.
I'm so excited to have Married Pam back. I've missed you. I haven't seen you in forever. Been traveling, doing your honeymooning. So congratulations to Pam again. And excited to see what you guys think about this episode.
Yeah.
And a lot of the girl on girl drama.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So it starts off, ladies, with Verna, who is really upset at Emmy, and also Devin is saying that Verna, he knows that she voted for him because they were right next to each other in the nomination area. And my whole thing to you ladies is, if Verna knows she doesn't want to vote for Esther because that's her friend, and she's going to vote for Devin and Amber B, and she knows that Devin's over her shoulder, why is she not more secretive about putting that vote in so this doesn't happen?
This has been something I've been wondering the whole season, and I truly thought it was just editing and production. I really thought that they just showed the hands of the swiping left and right and going through all the pictures, because I've thought this the whole time, like, how are they voting on top of each other? They're literally shoulder to shoulder, vantage point, bird's eye view over each other. Aren't they all just cheating and looking at who each other are voting for this whole season? So I was like, oh, it's probably just a producer thing. Like they get a wide shot of them cutting through, they get close-ups of their hands, but then they go and they vote like in secrecy or something. But turns out they really can just see who they're voting for the entire time.
Yeah, I bet most people are focused on their own stuff and they're not necessarily looking, but Devin's Devin, so he was looking, especially since Verna had beef with Amber B. They need the privacy shields like that you'd have in elementary school or like on a cubby, and also my invention for when you're in bed with someone on a tablet so it's not bothering them, the light. But they didn't have that. My big curiosity, and we talked about this last week and people have given me feedback online and stuff, is I understand Esther, we got clarity on why Esther was so pissed and came back and was like, I'm out for you, Amber B. But what's Verna's beef with her? Like, what? Just because she's friends with Amber? Is that it? Like, what is Verna so willing to risk her own ass because she hates Amber B so much? It's like,
I mean, I wrote it down. She says she doesn't want to hear about Amber's stories anymore.
Oh, that's her whole problem.
She's telling too many stories about winning last season, I guess. And I guess this season she's just telling stories. I guess she talks a lot. Her season stories.
Your season stories.
That's how she described it.
That was her first season. That's how she knows these people. Like, that's their common ground. What else is she gonna? I'm definitely Team Amber B on this one. I did feel bad for Verna when she was talking about Emmy screwing her over. And my next question is, what's the truth about Verna Emmy? Because we didn't see this wonderful friendship between them. And she's like, she's my little sister, blah, blah, blah.
The issue, what they're doing, the issue with the show right now is there's way too many storylines. They have to cut so many things out. And then all of a sudden we find out they're best friends, but we haven't seen it all season. So we don't even know what to believe. And so as a viewer, every episode, we're lost. Like, what the hell is happening?
That you hit the nail on the head. That's how I felt watching this entire episode. I truly just felt confused about what I'm supposed to feel about everybody, because we're just hearing things unravel in a he said, she said fashion. Same thing with Verna and Amber. I like them both. And I can only go with what each of them are saying. Again, it's a she said, she said. So it's like, I can't fault either of them for feeling a certain way about each other, because that's just their personal view and feelings on each other, because we haven't seen anything else. So that's the thing with Emmy and Verna as well. We don't really see this friendship develop. So when it happens, you kind of just have to take each of their words for it, because Verna obviously felt emotionally connected to Emmy and like there was a strong friendship and alliance there. But Emmy's discrediting that, saying that there wasn't really that solid foundation of a friendship. So it's kind of like, okay, sure, whatever each of you say, we don't know otherwise.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
This is why I go from liking people one episode to not liking someone the next episode, because we're only getting half stuff, truths, lies, whatever it is, of who they are as people and what they're doing and the decisions they're making. It's hard for us to make a decision on who we like, who we don't like, who we believe, who we don't believe. And it's the same, and I was going to mention this at the end, but I'll mention it now real quick, is it's the same with the relationships this season. Jeremiah and Amber B, we see them kiss every once in a while, but we know nothing else about this relationship. How am I supposed to like root for someone like we used to root for DM and CT? Because the producers took time to talk about it every episode. All we see is people giving each other pecks. I'm not emotionally invested in a lot of things this season, the people and the relationships between those people, because I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But that's me.
No, with you. I have a quick question too. Who is Amber B's partner currently?
Devin.
Oh, right. Okay. Because I was like, wasn't she partners with Josh? Like, I'm like, how did Josh and Ashley become? Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So I think this episode again was another example of like the curious case of Amber B. Like, I just don't really understand why people dislike her. But it seems to be a trend where a few of the girls in the house are disliking her. So there has to be a little bit of truth there. But I'm with you, Pam, that I can't help but feel on team Amber B because she was burned by Fessy. So I understand that it's annoying. I get that it's probably so annoying to hear her talk about it every single day, but like, you're in this house, you're playing a game. If that's kind of your biggest qualm with the game, you got burned by him. She did. It's the truth. So she's just saying that. But I mean, I can understand if maybe Verna's sick of hearing it. Sounds like a lot of people in the house are.
Right.
That's where I'm gonna. So, ladies, this is where I'll take the other side of the argument just for fun, and because I'm kind of leaning that way. I'm not really sure, because I told you every week I kind of lean back and forth on all these different characters on the show. But tonight, even not that Amanda's like, the most trustworthy person, but Amanda's getting annoyed. She's telling Priscilla to, speak your truth in nominations against Amber B. We saw it with Esther last week. We're seeing it with Verna this week. Why are there so many people against Amber B then? What is she giving off? There's something behind it. This isn't just a made up thing. Yes, them calling her fake, I didn't really buy that 100% and stuff like that. But there's something to Amber B that's pissing multiple people off. And I don't know what it is, but.
And I'm Dan. I'm in the middle because I still don't think it's fair or smart for these people to be coming after her because they just don't like her personality. But I do see she's probably a girl that's awkward with girls. Yes, she does seem to be off-putting to many of the women in the house, which I tend to think as a Bachelor viewer, there's always one girl in the house that everyone hates and the guy likes a lot. And that girl is always awful behind. Like, that girl always turns it on. I'm not saying Amber B is like that. I just think she might be genuinely kind of an annoying person. And that's still not a reason, again, to, like, that's a personal, it's like, great, a lot, you don't have to like everybody. You don't have to, but I agree. Amanda said it is sort of Cara-esque. And we had a guest on our show that was a challenger that said, no, Cara's really annoying. And she's like, my makeup palettes. And I'm like, I get it. I still felt bad for her. At this point, Amber's becoming an underdog. And now that's why I'm taking up for her. Because last season was her rookie season and she won. I'm sure she has a lot to say about it. So I'm of both minds. I get that she might be irritating the other women in the house. And it's like, if you have to get rid of one vet, why not one you don't like? But I also feel like it's pretty bold moves for Verna to being like, I don't like you. It's like, well, that's fine, bitch. Like, you are messing with the champion and saying you don't like me.
It's funny you say that though, because I kind of, again, it's weird that I can like both of them. I truly just like both of them individually for who they are and the way that they carry themselves and articulate themselves. And I really understood and appreciated what Verna was saying. And she was just like, we don't have to like each other. Whatever it is, we don't get along. Our personalities don't mesh. I just don't like you. And that's it. And I was kind of like, I agree with that mindset, Verna.
Which is fine.
Everybody is meant to get along. And if you two are personalities that are not meant to be friends, then that's fine. So I kind of understood where Verna was coming from. And what I really like about Verna too, is that she really just does face things, and she's very honest and truthful. She does not try to carry a coward away. And she's also very calm in that. When people explode on other people, she's saying very truthful things, but in a temperamented way that, okay, like I get you, girl. You know, she's not exploding like Ashley. Like, she communicates herself very well. And it's just like, it's nice that she's honest, but in a way that's not erupting the house or causing a scene or a fight.
I agree. It's that my incongruousness, is that a word? Incongruity, whatever. Verna, that she's so stoic that even when she's crying and angry, she's still so composed. You're right. That's exactly which started freaking me out. It's like,
I think it's so cool.
I think it's kind of cool, but she's not a lawyer. She's a person on a show that's about gaming, and it's like, have a little emotion. She's like dripping tears, and she's like, I was just so sad that Emmy did that to me. It's like robotic almost.
Robotic.
Like body functions are happening, but it's like, I just don't like you. It's like, well, you're calling someone out and taking potentially $1 million away from them because you just don't like them. Yes, everybody's not going to like everybody. At the same time, I don't hate Verna at all. I just feel the way Dan explained that Amber B is obviously rubbing people the wrong way. I think Verna is that too, because Amanda was like, well, we hate Verna, but still, right, her composed, but still like, hey, fine, go for her. Yeah, Verna's pretty, it's like cold mixed with a lot of emotion, which is strange.
What's really hard about this season, to Dan's point earlier, is it's just that personalities aren't meshing. So it's just that people are saying that they hate, like using the word hate somebody else, but we can't really put the puzzle pieces together as to why or what the examples are. It's not like shady gameplay, it's not betrayal, it's just dislike for someone else's personality, which does happen. So it's a real thing. It's just hard for us to follow.
Yeah.
So, that's why I'm going to jump on Verna's side more than Amber B's side this episode, because Amber B says this. She says she doesn't like Verna's energy, and she says it multiple times. And by energy, what the hell does she even mean? Because like, there's so many layers to that. I think what she's talking about is she's mad that Verna voted her in instead of voting in her friend Esther, even though Amber had no chance of going in anyways, because they're just going after rookies. So what is this energy that she's that mad about? And this is why I don't, if we want to call Amber B fake, that could be one of the reasons right there. And I'll give you another reason that she's fake. What is all this talk she's doing in the club? I can't deal with it. Jenna, you love your payoffs. And that was one of the most awful non-payoffs that we've had all season, because she made it sound almost 100% that she's going in. And then if she really wanted to go in, she could have nominated herself. She had every opportunity to say, CT, I want to go in there with my boy Jeremiah, and we're going to win this thing, and I'm going to take out my enemy Verna. So what is that? That's something that bothers me too.
Exactly.
It's very scary if you don't know what it is, though, to be like, I'm going in.
But then don't. Then
it's
why
really stupid. I'm glad.
In the club, she talks so much, and then there's no editing there. She said those words like she over and over again. When Josh and Casey tried to back her out of it, she's like, "No, I'm going in with Jeremiah. Jeremiah wants a new partner, and I want to help him out."
I think that's finally evidence as to why people are getting annoyed with Amber B. I think that she sometimes has an overconfidence, but then decides to backpedal. So I'm all about the confidence. You won last season. I'm rooting for you. People are still targeting you, even your own veterans, even though you won last season. So I kind of feel like, good, talk your game, be confident. But then she ends up backpedaling at the end of the day, and she's not really putting her money where her mouth is with that.
I don't think she backpedaled, though, because when it came time, she was still saying, I want to go in. It's not up to me.
But that's my point. She could have just voted herself in.
Not at that point. No, the agency picks, we know they were going to pick. Oh, like Jeremiah did, you're saying? Like,
she could have just said to CT in that moment, hey, look, CT, please, I want to go in. He would have done it. If someone requests to go in, why would CT deny that person of it?
Because there's another reason, because Ashley's thing wasn't a threat to Priscilla. It was a threat to, don't you dare, CT and whoever, put in a veteran. It screws up our entire plan. That's
It
why
might not
everybody
have
was like,
screwed up.
no, Amber, simmer
But-
down.
To your
It-
point, I think Amber knew that. So I think that's her just talking. And again, I love her. And it depends on how you look at it. Like you could just say, oh, maybe she's just a little tipsy, or she's
Right.
drunk on love with Jeremiah. And she's like, I'm going to be Jeremiah's savior. And then maybe she woke up the next day and was like, shit, I don't know why I was talking all that craziness. Like,
I know,
you
but
actually know. Maybe
but-
she regretted it and laughed at it. But I think
Right.
also you can make the argument that she knew what she was saying, and she knew that she wasn't going to have to go in, and she knew that she was acting tough, but she didn't really have to go into elimination.
And if we're looking for reasons why Amber B's annoying, that to me is an example of someone being, I perceive it as annoying for someone to go back on their words or blame it on the alcohol, even though we don't know if she did that. But, you know, something along those lines would annoy me as a person. So Amber B to me can be annoying.
I agree with everything on both sides. Quick though, Dan, with return to what does it mean, the bad energy question. Have you ever like worked with or had to spend time with someone that did not like you?
Oh, I mean, look.
Like that is horrible energy to be around. Like I had a coworker that didn't like me. He wasn't even in our office, but like, and it was like, good God, like when he was gone, it was literally like a fucking dark cloud lifted off my work existence. And it cast a pall. So like that energy made my work, it didn't make it suck because I didn't care that much, but it was still crappy whenever they're.
It's interesting you say that because I get it. Working one-on-one with someone who doesn't like you, I get
not
it.
even one-on-one, like in a group, because it affects everything. It's like attention. It's
that one person, right? There could be 20 people, and that one person that gives you a bad vibe walks into work and you're just like, clam up.
Right. And especially when they're not secretly out to get you. Like it's like,
No,
I don't like you. And
I understand that, but I think that there's a ton of people in this house that don't like each other and whatnot during the game. So is she getting? She's only saying she's getting bad energy from her in this one episode. So I guess my point is like, there's so many people that could be saying this, and she didn't even say bad energy. She just said energy. So that's where
energy is bad for Amber B because she doesn't like her and she's gunning for her, and that's stressful to be around. So that's my Amber B defense.
But my defense with Verna is I think she just put in someone else because she didn't want to root for Esther. I don't think it was anything. Well, actually, you're wrong.
No, of course it was something. She said, "I don't like you."
She is against Amber B. So yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and she voted for her. No, it wasn't just whatever. And we saw during the fight, Verna just a little soldier by Esther's whatever side, and also gunning for her last. No, Verna doesn't like her. We know that, but it's a bold move that didn't pay off to go after Yvette so hard and be so honest about it. It's like, well, you might want to chill a little bit because you have a huge target on your back now.
Speaking of relationships that we don't know if they're going to pay off or not, Tori apparently likes Emmanuel now. Shocker, Tori likes another person in the house. Jen, I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago. It's ridiculous. She likes everybody. She liked Ed earlier, but he had a girlfriend, so she had to leave him alone. Tori loves everyone. What do you girls think? Do you like Emmanuel? Do you think he's cute for her? What are your thoughts on Emmanuel?
I think Emmanuel is adorable and he's cute and he seems like he has a fun personality. And I don't know if I'm having a double standard here, but Tori, no, I'm not, because I'm thinking of like how I've judged maybe Corey or Tony in the past for hooking up with people, but that's only because they actually had significant others at home and they were hooking up people. Because this doesn't bother me that Tori hooks up with people. I don't care. She's single. So the hell
not at all. I love it.
Show like.
I don't care either. I just like to point out that literally she crushes on every dude. Like she
doesn't. She's had a crush on one dude that she did not crush on Ed. She's a flirt. She made a flirty joke where he mentioned I have a girlfriend. She wasn't crushing on him. She had a crush on Kells.
Yep.
And that was it.
Keep naming everyone on the show because it's true.
Not Ed though. I'm saying not Ed, only Kells. There's no one else, and now her crush was gone. Again, she's single, she's flirty, she's obviously a sexual single girl. Like
there's no other rookies for her to crush on. Everyone else she's known for so many years. She's been there, done that. She hooked up with Fessy already. Did she not hook up with Fessy already?
She didn't hook up with Kyle, Devin, Corey, Nelson. There's definitely a lot of people where she hasn't been there and done them.
Yeah. And Jeremiah, she could crush on. She isn't crushing on.
She doesn't want to deal with Amber B.
Right. But I'm saying, I think it's a genuine look. Nelson's had a girlfriend every season. Why aren't you dogging on him? And he had 2 this season.
No.
He went from Ashley to Berna in one season.
And he's probably going to go back to Ashley now that Berna's gone.
Right. And now
if that happens next week, let me know. Yeah.
Exactly. So why is Tori back? Like, yeah.
When did I say Tori was bad? I said she's crushing everyone.
The single people, if you're single, ready to mingle and living in a house of hot people, amen. Find someone hot and do it.
That's how I feel to him. But you know what? That's Dan's opinion, and that's fine because some people are a little bit more like reserved with that, or they don't think that I don't know, everyone should be hooking up with whoever they please. But
I'm not reserved though.
And Tori's also very desirable.
It's okay if Dan's prude. Just
but Tori also,
if only that were the case,
is often the pursuee. So it's like, okay.
I'm just teasing.
Wait, what? I missed it. Sorry, I stepped over your joke. What was it?
I don't get offended very easily, Jenna. So we'll let it slide this time.
I want to say
it's not Dan's fault. He's just prude.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dan.
All right. Well, that was
for the 21st century.
All right. Well, hey, look, I'm a taken man now, so I've totally changed my ways on viewpoints of Tori hooking up with other guys. I'm just so disgusted by it.
No.
So, I wanted to mention one more thing before we get into the challenge of the day. Pam, you got to see Josh with his shirt off tonight. What were your thoughts on that?
My only Josh's notes were Josh shaking my head. Shut up. During that conversation.
About what? Regarding what?
Oh, you're not even a real vet, Josh. He was like, it's a good time to be a vet. Like,
that's when he had his shirt off.
Yeah, so all I could hear were his dumb words. With a shirt off, I don't know. He's fine. He looks like all the other built guys in the house. It's not like
I was just looking for your shut up Josh moment of the night by saying
shut up Josh was when he said when he's like, it's a good time to be a vet. And I was like, you're not even a real vet. Don't you have to have some qualifications to be called a vet? Other than showing up, an alumni. He's an alumni.
He's been on a lot of seasons, but he's never won, I think.
He's never been to a final, has he?
No.
He's never even won an elimination. I think he won his first one last season because it was like, if he lost it, it would have been more embarrassing than
threw those medicine balls. He tried his best.
Did throw those medicine balls.
And also, real quick on Josh, I have to say a shout out and a thank you to all our listeners and viewers that explained about Josh winning Big Brother 19, because I was like, how did this kid win? And now I get it. There are some weird things where a combination of luck and disliking another person can get you all the way through to the end. So thank you all for answering that, people that watched that.
Yeah, I think what he ended up doing is, because you need other ex-competitors to vote for you to win. It's called the jury. And he basically like exposed his opponent's dirty gameplay the whole time, right? And he was like, "What? This has been this secret alliance, and they've done this." So they were like, "Ooh, well, we like Josh better now because we see this other person in his cat." Which
people also said that guy was his shield and carried him all the way to the end because he thought Josh could never win.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because right now there's two people. I'm watching the current season of Big Brother, and there's two people that it could weirdly at luck. There's one that's like won all the stuff and is great and hopefully will win, and then two other people that they were all in an alliance from the beginning.
Yeah.
And
I'm a few episodes behind, so we gotta cut it.
Sorry.
Come on.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even know you watched. Okay, sorry.
Well, okay. Speaking of dropping the bomb. Speaking of dropping the bomb that Pamela just dropped, this episode challenge was called Dive Bomb. And news and gossip, TJ apparently bought a yacht. I mean, I know he was joking, but he bought a yacht.
Didn't know. Good for you, TJ.
I mean, I'm being sarcastic.
The game master, the handler, the rule maker, TJ.
The handler, right. Maybe he'll sail in the next couple of seasons. He'll just
in a yacht.
sail in instead of driving in with explosives.
Ladies, I'd love to get your thoughts on this challenge. Did you like it? Was it fun? Did you like the water scooter aspect? Please, Jenna, why don't you tell me what's up?
Liked it, not loved it. I think the underwater little mini jet ski thing was cool. Didn't have me on the edge of my seat, but I didn't hate it either. I mean, there was some back and forth, but yeah, I mean, it was fine.
I liked it because I liked that it was done in 3 heats, so that the mystery was to the end. And I liked the challenge, but I liked the way they were like currently in first, currently in second. Like they built up enough tension that I was like, oh. And when the teams that won their heat won, I still had no idea who really won. So I mean, I liked it for that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, every team that won had a person that was good at puzzles on it, so that I thought that was interesting. I learned that Jeremiah still can't swim because he had issues earlier in the season as well. And here's a hot take. I'm sorry, what, Jen?
Was it swimming that was his issue? I thought it was just he couldn't quite get the little jet ski machine figured out. Like,
well, I just meant in the previous. Remember, he jumped off the cliff and then he just kind of fluttered out like this. But in this one, he couldn't get the jet ski thing going. But then he also was just. Well, I guess maybe it was just the jet ski thing in this one, but I don't know. It looked like he couldn't
lose his cool in water. He might just be uncomfortable in the water because he seemed to get. I didn't quite understand what was going on with him, but they're all like Jeremiah that way, like he was going the wrong way and stuff. So I think maybe he just gets scared of water.
I just thought, I thought he was afraid to dive down deep with that water scooter thing because for someone that's not comfortable in water, and then you have something pulling you under, that's got to be kind of scary for someone, you know.
Yeah.
And then here's my hot take. Big T, I'm done. I'm done with Big T. She can't compete. She can't pull her body weight up 3 feet to grab that key to get it. Jeremiah has to go out there and do it after she comes back. And what a time lost. How much time off the clock did they lose for that one?
I also wonder if it was a lack of strategy, if they didn't even think about it before competing. But I wonder why they picked the order that they did. That Big T went first, maybe because Jeremiah had a fear of not like being efficient in the water. I don't know, but they didn't really think that one through, or maybe she thought she could handle the 3 feet of rope. But yeah, not a good look for them.
Yeah, my only point is that, remember though when CT and Big T kept winning things and we were like, looks like Big T can do good stuff. Like,
I mean, I can give you examples why they won those though. I mean, at one point CT had to hold her up over a cliff and she weighs 2 pounds. So
but she won. They won a swimming thing last season,
which there was a ton of controversy around, and they said that they didn't land inside the lines and all kinds of stuff behind that. Yeah, I'm telling you, they wanted to build a storyline for them.
And swimming is her thing. She's a swimmer. She used to be a competitive swimmer, she said, in like high school or college.
Yeah. But I agree.
Again, because there are so many people on this season, a lot of people are not getting the exposure that really is, I don't know, showing me a lot of their competitiveness or athleticism at all. Like,
and
that was Big T kind of forgot that she was there sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll tease this, ladies. I always like to admit when I'm wrong. I gave Priscilla so much crap this whole season for not having a storyline, but that's also because they didn't show her. But wow, she proved me wrong tonight, and I am loving this. I'm loving her. I think she's amazing for what she did. Thank goodness. But
I will piggyback on that and say it was very pleasant and nice to see Priscilla's personality tonight, because we never have gotten, other than her commentary, to see her compete or do anything. And she had strategy. She won. And I was like, my other thing is like, this elimination was made for Verna, who's a freaking acrobat. So
yeah, we'll get into that. That was not her fault, but we'll get into that.
No, it's not. It's not. But Priscilla, it was nice to get to know her, and we got a tinge of Bettina's personality too tonight, which wasn't, didn't like wow me, but she, at least we got to hear what she's all about.
We're people are going home, and they're actually starting to focus on other people's storylines finally. So
well, I guess both fortunately and unfortunately, right now it's just picking off rookies. So that's kind of the storylines. and we're not getting a lot of people's real competitiveness unless they're kind of outstanding or something and special. So hopefully we'll get to see more of that, but it'll, in the future when it's smaller.
Yeah, so can we talk about deliberation? Because after Verna and Amber get into it, which we should talk about as well, but while we're talking about people picking off rookies, do the vets at that point in the deliberation make it obvious to the rookies that they haven't been picking vet teams and they've been picking rookie vet teams and ultimately screwing themselves by leaving a rookie team open? Because by Tori and Ashley threatening and don't you dare come for a vet team, I feel like that's what awakens the rookies to realize, oh shit, why aren't we doing that?
I think the problem is that they didn't win ever. They've never won a rookie team. And that's why, because when Kyle in the very beginning was like, ooh, I don't know why a light bulb is not going off. I think the light bulb has well gone off. I think they understand that they're being picked off rookies.
No, but they never
that's not the point, man.
Because after elimination, they have now the opportunity to go pick new partners, and they've never separated veterans from each other. They've still allowed the rookies to be partnered together, which is going to be the team that the vets try to target for the following week. So it's not until the vets saying in deliberation, hey, don't you dare come for a vet team. I think that's what sells it out. I was kind of like, Tori, why did you say that?
Every time anyone wins, though, they pick a vet partner.
Yeah, but they don't pick that partner off a vet team. They're picking it off of a vet rookie team. That's the issue.
I heard it to mean, again, I thought it was speaking more to a CT and to the alliance that's saying, don't you dare start putting veterans in, because then we're not going to have a rookie team.
Well, that's what they're saying, but finally now, because of Priscilla's move, they've completely eliminated. There's not going to be any more rookie teams, especially as long, it's unless a vet wins, maybe they can try to sway it back, but I don't think it's possible. We'll have to see, but I don't. Now it's all vet rookies for at least.
How was there was no other way to go.
Let me ask you this, Jenna. What other vet team could Priscilla have chosen from besides Josh and Ashley? Was there another vet team, or was that it?
Devin and Amber B.
Good.
And Kyle and Ashley.
Well, yes.
Oh, then who was Josh with?
Sorry, not Ashley, Amanda.
Sorry. And Ashley and Ashley.
There have been multiple vet teams for this entire damn season, and I don't know why. Unless the rookies truly had no idea that that's how you break it up, that's a big mistake on their part. And if Ashley gave it away in nominations, then Ashley, that's a big mistake.
That's what I kind of thought she did. I said, didn't you guys just give it away? Because at the beginning of the episode, you're saying these rookies have no idea that they're allowing vets to stay partnered together. And then Ashley and Tori kind of threatened them in deliberation. I'm like, wait, you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have exposed yourselves. Which I also found a similar thought for when Priscilla did speak up. And I loved how Priscilla handled herself in deliberation. I feel like she was cool, calm, collected, and confident. She was great. But she also kind of sold herself out too. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe it was inevitable that, of course, everybody is targeting her and Bettina, but I kind of felt like they were sliding under the radar. And then she spoke up and she said, okay, listen, I know the obvious choice is either Bettina or I, because we're the only rookies that haven't gone in yet. And I was like, girl, don't say that. Don't put the spotlight on you.
The vets knew though, Jen. It's all good. They knew there's only 2 girls left, and then they had Jeremiah on the other side. They knew exactly what was going on. It was their game plan for now 8 episodes. And we think one episode's filmed every 4 days, 5 days. What is it? Maybe once a week. So that's 2 months already. That seems like
I don't think it's that long. I think it's definitely 1 or 2 a week. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 a week. I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely.
But even as much as I love Amber B, I love that Priscilla's strategy was like, oh, wait, weren't you Amber B?
Okay.
Were you telling people
that
you wanted to go in?
Okay.
I like that too.
To that point, Amber B's reaction to Priscilla calling her out was to scoff at it and go like that, like she didn't say it. being fake. She's lying. These are more examples for Amber B. That's a fake move. Own up to it. Say, yes, I was talking at the club, but I wasn't 100%. So, get in your lane. Call her back if you want. But to scoff at it and pretend like it wasn't real at first, she scoffs at it.
Defense of Amber B, I will say, Amber B wasn't shouting from she was talking to two people that she's allegedly in an alliance with, saying she wants to go in. That's not, it's like, I don't think she was scoffing at that and denying it. She was saying, I talked to people that I wanted to talk to about it, but like, that's none of your business.
I agree too.
She didn't throw herself. It's like, if I wanted to, I'd do it here. I'm allowed to have private conversations.
Priscilla didn't say it that way though. Priscilla just said, I heard through the grapevine, I overheard that you might possibly want to go in. Like, she didn't say it and like, oh, you're going in, aren't you? She didn't.
Well, certainly not Priscilla's decision to make. That's where it's like, look, if I want to go in, I'll throw myself in. Don't worry, Priscilla.
I
want to go in, I'll make it.
I love that Priscilla brought it up. She's bringing some drama to this game and she's mixing it up.
It was good. It was good. I liked that too. And I liked it better than I Just Don't Like You from Verna, because that's a game thing. It's like, hey, I heard you wanted to go in. You want to go in? Great. Take the heat.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
That I prefer to the Verna being like, I don't like you. It's like, well, you voted for me and you're trying to get other people against me. So it's more than you just don't like me and it is what it is. It's a game thing and you're bringing it into the game.
Well, at least Verna admitted that, or said that she just thinks that Amber B's talking too much about her win last season. So she gave a reason, at least. Better than Esther. Esther gave jack shit for a reason. It was awful.
Esther kind of funny.
Well, but then we learned that Esther had a reason, the whole the eye thing the next day.
Then why didn't Esther bring that up on the aftermath then, Pam? You know what I mean?
No.
That's where she should have said it, because she just kept saying over and over again nonsense, even on the aftermath, when she had months to think of a good answer.
Well, the aftermath is too corporate and who knows what they're allowed. It's an MTV show that it's like, if it didn't make it on the air, you can't talk about it. I don't know, but we never get, I'm always disappointed after the after show because we never get any insider insight. Nothing. At least Tori and Anissa's show, we get a little of their take.
Yeah, it's always such manufactured response.
Right. It's like, and then
it's like someone is holding cue cards behind the camera. Like, all you can say is, get ready for the biggest twist ever. Next card. Right. Wow, we got a great season in store for you.
Right.
So Pamela, you know what was bad about watching the Amber and Anissa program the last couple of weeks is because
Tori.
Amber, oh my God, Anissa and Tori. Because I'm getting all the names mixed up. Because they get, Jenna.
Also, we're sponsored by Keurig.
Yeah. I love Keurig.
Well, I need a new one, Keurig, because my coffee gets cold in 5 seconds.
I would like to tell you that hashtag Keurig.
Sorry, we're getting off topic.
Well, real quick, I have the double one, like a pot and a onesie, and I love it.
You're rich, right? Okay.
Cool. Honey, Jenna, wedding registry. Get you one of those. Okay. Anyway. iPhone. Okay. I'm glad we're abusing ourselves. Yeah.
I listened to the Anissa and Tori podcast, and they basically said, I know you haven't heard a lot from Priscilla, but she's about to make big moves. They literally gave it away this episode. So when I saw things start to happen, I said, oh, there's no way Priscilla's not winning this elimination. And that's because I watched the Anissa and Tori thing. So whoops on that. But
that's because you look at the episode title name.
Well, the threat didn't give anything away, really.
Well, because I only say that because I just watched last week's episode today, and the episode name gave it away.
What was it called? I never looked.
It was called Uncle CT. And when I saw that Emmy was going into elimination, and the whole episode she wants Uncle CT as her partner, I'm like, obviously Emmy is winning and not Esther.
I could have told you.
Winning for Esther.
We could have told you 3 weeks ago, though, that Emmy wanted CT as a partner because she mentioned it earlier on as well.
But why would Uncle CT be the name unless it was like the ending prize of the episode?
We're not down the house.
I know. I'll give you this.
Nope.
This season hasn't been that bad with giving away the titles. last season was awful to me when I had to look at the time. It literally would tell me everything.
This isn't as bad.
This one's not as bad. Last season was really bad.
Emmy winning
Last season was
performance.
like, Nelson goes home tonight.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Say goodbye, Ashley.
Why did Nelson pick up the gun and shoot himself with it?
Oh my God.
No, what I mean,
That's
that's
so
the kind of
dark,
things
though.
they would be like,
Damn.
oh,
What
I didn't
the
mean that as
fuck
like a
happened. This guy.
right. I didn't
We're
mean that way.
joking.
I meant the titles were so descriptive, like, too bad Corey failed at the swimming challenge. Like, they weren't subtle at all. They were like,
Wait, that
he
was
wins and picks a new partner. That's the episode title. Now at least they're a little vague. I mean, it's
yeah, it's like no need to watch this. Ashley loses in the end.
at the end, Tori wins. Right?
Oh,
It's like
anything else. Man, I don't know. I can't help but like everybody, which is so weird, right? Like, I don't know. I loved Verna in Deliberation that she kind of, again, called out Emmy for lying and saying, you told me that you were specifically not going to steal my partner. And
I feel bad for Verna about that.
Me
But that's
too.
why I really want to know the truth. I mean, we know Emmy's a liar. I like blatantly. There's nothing, which I think is
It's a
okay
game.
because it is a game. I appreciate
Yeah.
her saying, I feel bad. I like that she did cop to feeling bad because that's when she did that. She was like, we're not friends, dude, which that's pretty harsh if you really are close to be like, nah, we're not friends. So I don't know what the truth is about that relationship, but I do agree with Emmy that's like, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do in that regard. I mean, maybe to be nice, she could have been like, I don't know. I'm going to have to make a game time decision if I go in. But
And I also felt additionally bad for Berna because CT really didn't want her as a partner either. And he kept saying it's because she was trying to do so much. And that kind of confused me because it's also a similar case to Amber B is like, well, we're not really seeing that. So what? She said one thing about Amber B, proposing that Amber B should maybe go into elimination to Casey last week, right? She said one thing that we saw, and now CT is like, Berna's too much. She's doing too much. She's trying too hard. She's strategizing too much. It's like, God forbid she tried to play a little bit.
You
But
nailed it.
see, we
Jenna,
know-
you nailed it. That's it. That's it. We're not getting enough of these storylines, and the producers are expecting us to get emotionally invested in what one person has to say when we don't have any background or evidence to support that. And that's why I'm not emotionally invested in this season at all. I'm just like watching, I'm enjoying it enough, but I don't care who wins. I want to go to eliminations tonight and be like, oh my God, come on, Berna. I wanted Berna to win, but I wasn't I used to get sweaty and gross, watching and nervous, right? When I watch, I used to get nervous watching the eliminations. Tonight, I was just like, okay, I think Priscilla's going to win it.
It's funny to say that because I felt like I couldn't even watch last week's Hall Brawl because I was so anxious about wanting Esther to win. And I was like, come on, Esther, do it. So maybe you'll find your elimination this season.
There was a couple. No, there was some this season. There was a couple this season. Was it the one where they were locked together going through that thing? I think maybe that one did it for me.
That was a good one.
That was a good one because there was so much happening during it. The yelling between them was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one I was invested in that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one too. I feel bad for Berna because yes, that's a bad feeling. Like I did feel for her and I do feel for her, and yes, Dan and Jenna, we're having to fill in a lot of the blanks about a lot of this stuff. Like when CT said that though, I just think we know CT likes to lay low. And if you're a rookie and you're starting shit up, you are putting a target on your back and therefore sort of your partners maybe. I don't know. I mean, I do get that would rub him the wrong way because he likes to sort of lay low and ride it until he has to make moves. So a partner that was stirring shit up, that's a rookie.
It's just a shame because they probably would have been the power couple of the season. Like Berna is a great athlete. I know she lost tonight, but I don't think it was totally.
It was not her fault
because it was a team game. And the odds were against her with Huey's big ass, and we'll talk about that. But it's a shame they couldn't work together because I think that they would have kicked ass, the two of them.
Ladies, do you know how many people started the season off? How many challengers were on?
30?
30. Okay. Back in the day,
Well, I don't know. I'm guessing.
I think more than 30.
It's
I
fine.
thought it was
It's fine.
this time. Okay.
34, maybe, whatever. So here's my question to you though. Back in the day, let's say 10 years ago, how many challengers started the season? Okay.
Maybe like
I want to
60.
guess that it might have been a little bit less, maybe like 26 or something. And they used to only have hour-long episodes, and they had like, what, 12 episodes for the entire season. And somehow they told a better story that was more understanding to us in less time. What the hell happened? That's honestly what I think about all the time now with this show. It's an hour-and-a-half episode now, and I'm more confused than ever when I watch it.
That's what keeps you up at night. You're like, oh, why is there so many people in
Let's
this
not
show?
go that far, Jenna, but kind of.
No,
Well,
I feel you though.
Thus far, it's just been getting rid of the rookies, and we never really get to know why. And I agree, it's hard to be emotionally invested. I do hope that it will change as there's less people. So I guess they just weren't going to build storylines around people that weren't going to be there past 8 episodes, you know, when they have like 935 episodes per season.
And they're all 3 hours long.
Yeah, like we'll forget all about these people in a few
And you
weeks.
also have to suffer through like 5 minutes of ridiculousness before you even get
I just fast forward through it. I consciously start about 5 minutes late so I can get rid of and the recap.
That show's awful, by the way. That Rob Dyrdek show. What a load of garbage that is. They're not even funny.
Why is it on? Like they have so many shows. Why do they play ridiculousness all day?
And I think they keep making new episodes of it. It's not even like their old reruns. Like these are pretty new episodes.
It's super cheap to make. It's in that 13 to 15 or 13 to 16 demographic of boys that watch these MTV reality shows. I'm serious. And it's a hot garbage show. The commentary isn't even funny. They have Rob Dyrdek, and I love Robin Big. I love Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory, but it's just he's not funny enough to be doing this show.
I like that we sprinkle in little sub reviews for other shows. We do it every time. We're like, oh, let's talk a little bit about Outer Banks. Let's splash a little bit here. Oh, let's get a little bit of ridiculousness.
Yeah, you guys need to start watching The Bachelor.
But honestly, though, on this Rob Dyrdek show, they have the CeeLo guy, his buddy, the guy that he's supposed to be like rewinding the tape. And is he really doing that? No, it's such garbage. Why would they want that back for you? It's what's going on here? And then they have the blonde girl that used to be the secretary at the Fantasy Factory who annoys the shit out of me.
West Coast.
Yeah, shit.
What?
Say her name.
I think her voice is her voice is supposed to be quirky, and it is like nails on a chalkboard to me. I'm like, ugh! She's like, or whatever she does.
It's
the dolphin.
Yeah.
It's worse Bettina's though, and she's got I don't know. I've only seen it in unfortunate clips that I've had to see before watching something else. But I'm like, oh, what is that sound?
But let me ask you this: would you do it for a paycheck?
Oh hell
yeah!
I don't like. It's not personal. I don't want to hear it. It doesn't mean I'm mad at what she's doing. I don't want to hear it though.
I'm a comedian, Jenna. I would love to do that show.
So, you guys, MTV, take Dan instead of the girl with the cacophonous voice and laugh.
I could do good commentary for it, but no one knows. It's all about followers. You know, it's all about followers. That's how they're doing. That's how they're casting the challenge now.
You've got like a million TikTokers, don't you?
I've got 40,000 TikTok followers, but like it has
40,000. Oh, yeah, MTV! Check out Dan Lindgren's TikTok.
It does. TikTok has become so flooded now, ladies. It doesn't grow anymore. It's like YouTube now. You can't, unless you were already big before. Now Will Smith's on there. Every celebrity's on there now, so no one follows someone like. They just don't find me anymore. They find all the celebrities.
What's your name on TikTok?
Idiot Box Boys. You should
follow Idiot Box Boys.
You should see Jack Black on TikTok. He stands there and eats a sandwich and gets 1 million views, but that's the problem. He's Jack Black and I'm Jack Shit. It's it's a huge
change your name to Jack Shit and have Jack Black's name as your profile, and then you'll get a
I'm
lot of
just
followers.
saying, but that's a lot to what it has to do with. No one's going to just find me. They're going to go type in Jack Black because they see Jack Black's movies. So it's fine. It's not a big deal.
I'm still waiting for the season of the challenge that's like all stars versus mediocre YouTubers who review the show. And I'm still waiting for our casting calls.
Hey, Jenna, if we don't get a call for that, I'm going to be very upset. That fits us pretty well.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Who watch our show? Come on.
Except I won't make it past episode 5, so unless CT's my partner.
We need to reference back to when we did our final in La Brea
Yes.
in Los Angeles.
And Patreon plug.
You can find it on our Patreon.
A Patreoner, a patron, then you can see our version of a finale from season 30, 35, something. Anyway, join our Patreon, and you can see Jenna, Dan, and myself perform a final.
And sadly, David did not.
Punk Rock Christopher did not make it because Dan poisoned his lasagna before, so that he would be a shoo-in.
Hey, if you're gonna say I poisoned him, it was veal parmesan. That's what it was.
Oh, veal parmesan. Sorry, I knew it was something Italian. Yes. Yep.
Oh, David.
Yep.
All right, ladies, let's get into the elimination, shall we? Let's go down to the layer. It's Race to Escape. Like I told you before, I watch the Anissa and Tori podcast, or I listen to it every week, so I kind of already knew the outcome. What did you think of it? I actually was really impressed by this one. I thought it was a lot of fun, something different. They had to work as a team, which I always liked. And this was my girlfriend's favorite part. She actually watched the show with me tonight. And her favorite part was the hashtag disaster with
disaster.
It made her laugh out loud, and she had no idea what the poor thing was trying to follow along with a show she's never watched before. So I feel for people like that have to do that with us. I think Luke does that with you, Pam, every once in a while. No,
not if he can
say sits through this thing.
Oh, he loves it.
But he's into it. Okay, so that's different.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like OG early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
Watcher.
Yeah. Luke is not into it and doesn't.
He's just our host.
Yep.
CJ, he's our handler.
And he had the knowledge to be CJ because of the one time we were at AfterBuzz having like an upload program, and he had to watch it and like get us caught up with like the first 12 minutes of the show. Like that's how he knew who even those people were. Right? We were like, wow, how does it work? We had to go into the trailer.
I remember that.
You called Luke. You're like, Luke.
I'm recording it. Please just watch the first 10 minutes and tell, because we missed it.
Tell us what happened.
Yeah, we need to know what happened.
He's the best.
Yeah.
Can you guys tell me, because I may have missed this, apparently my fiance said that Huey's ass was exposed as being fake.
Yeah, well, Ashley said, bring your big fake ass down here. So I think it is.
Okay. So I missed that part. So I just thought he had this massive.
Oh, you don't remember on the thing?
ass is huge.
Oh yeah, when they showed it from the side. It was like, wow. Because we've seen it front on and you can't tell how big it is, how bulbous it is. But Ashley, when he was scared to jump in and then they wound up winning, remember? It was cool. It was like their first thing. And she's like, get that big fake ass down there.
Okay.
So
I had no idea.
I believe it.
Well,
so
it
bit
him in the ass tonight. His fake ass bit him in the ass tonight. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure did.
I felt bad for Verna because her being an acrobat and being in the circus is like, this is a challenge for her, right? She knows how to do things, especially backwards. She has good balance. So Huey, I mean, really kind of dragged her down. And when his ass was also a weight, but she was trying to carry him, and it just was like the cushion behind him didn't allow him to have support or balance to stand up straight against the pole. So that sucked for her. No discredit to Jeremiah and Priscilla, because they did amazing. Like they flew up the ladder.
Yeah.
Even if maybe Verna was with somebody else, who knows, it still would have been that they got up there quicker. But they had a little bit of a tough time with the rope, and Verna and Huey did end up making it up there, which with what seemed like could be enough time for them to get the hang of the rope, but Huey's ass just kept getting in the way. So I wonder what would have happened if she wasn't. But you can't look at it that way. The elimination went the way that it did. And I just love that Priscilla took the stealing of the partners head on, did not shy away from Ashley, even called them out and was like, people were threatening us and that's not going to happen. And we're going to do what we need to do.
Yep. I thought Priscilla was awesome. And Jeremiah is another person who we've got to see nil of. I didn't even know him and Amber B were like kissing. Like that's how little we've seen of Jeremiah.
They've showed them pecking for the last 3 weeks now. Just a peck every like
in silhouette where I was like, who's Amber B kissing? And I thought at some point it was Josh, as like it was like a partner peck. Like I literally didn't realize it was like it was so quick and not a storyline that I was like, like yeah. So I liked him too though. Like he's other than swimming stuff. He seems to be a good competitor too.
Pam, not to get too off topic here, but you and I talked on Patreon, I believe, about how there should be 30 minutes after the episode of just the hookup stuff, just the relationship stuff, just the couples talking, getting to know each other, sharing some cute laughs, learning about each other. Like I would watch that in a heartbeat because that's X on the beach. And I love that.
Right.
And sharing cute little laughs.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm getting drama for a reason, Jenna, and I love it. I eat it up.
Even sprinkled throughout the hour and a half episode.
But they don't do, that's the problem. They have an extra 30 minutes. And back in the day, isn't it so crazy how the CT and DM thing was, it feels like it was like a whole season just on them, but they were still able to have a whole season of an actual challenge too.
Right.
They do that now with some of these relationships.
Well, I've watched the duel again and I feel like the pacing of it was really good where it wasn't every single episode. Like you saw their relationship slowly build. That for me, like that was something that kept me tuning in, as well as the challenge and the drama and the athletics of it. That was also something that made me come back for each episode. So I feel like the pacing of their storytelling of their relationship was really good. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want the challenge to become too much of a dating show.
No, but just, go back to how it was, where they actually showed like the progression of Jeremiah and Amber B's relationship has been a peck, wait an episode, a peck, wait an episode.
Well,
nothing.
It's probably because that's all there is.
Maybe. Like, Jenna, I knew you were gonna say that. Maybe that's true, but there's so many hookups this season. There's got to be one storyline of people. What do we know about Nelson and Verna? Absolutely nothing, too. Like we don't know anything about them.
I would argue with both of you. I would argue to Jenna's point that there's not enough to make a good storyline, that they're all sort of just hookups, even if they like each other. Although Nelson's like, I have really big feelings for her, so who knows? But my counter to be on Dan's side is I would say none of these are real couples, so it's hard to, develop real storylines. Like, I don't think Amanda, well, who knows, anyway. But Casey and Nani are a real couple. So we could see more of that relationship. They showed us like, she made me a date night. I'm so happy. Like sound bites, but it's like, we want to see them falling in love.
And we're not getting any of it. We're not getting any of it. And I can make an argument for Amanda and Betsy, who we've also talked about on Patreon, are still dating in real life. And he's still afraid to call her his girlfriend, but they're posting on each other's Instagram. So Amanda and Fessy is a real relationship, and we saw nothing. I'm talking, we saw her talk to him in a bed for a flash. That was it.
My other defense, now back to point Jenna, is that
ding, 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 ding.
I don't think that they wanted, it is still early days on this season. And I don't think they wanted half of all the couples that were established have now gone home. So I don't think they wanted to devote too much time to these things that weren't going to pay off or pan out in any long-term thing. But that circles me back, Dan, to Casey and Nani. A real couple, they're both vets. They're probably not going to go home that quickly. I do understand if they, have all the footage of the season, they start editing it, that they're not going to devote a lot of time to Nelson and Verna, because then we're going to feel really cheated when Verna goes home, or Kels and Tori, or Amber or what's her name, and Fessy, Amanda and Fessy, because then it sucks when you don't want to get invested in a thing that's going to be cut off.
You know what's interesting too, though? Why can't they at least give us a Brad and Brittany relationship? Does that make sense? Why can't we at least get that? Because that to me was still really enjoyable to watch. And we're not even getting
But
that.
they became a real couple too. I mean, they dated outside of the show.
I know
for a
they did,
while.
but when they first met on the season, we got an episode, we got a season for them. We grew to like them, or I grew to like them throughout that first season they were together.
But I think they both lasted longer on the. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying before that we even knew they were going to last, though. Oh, you mean through that one season?
We didn't know, but the I mean, if you shoot the season, they decided to build a storyline around it because it panned out. These couples, the other ones, have all gone home. Like, someone's gone home from all of these relationships. Although Big T and Logan, although one of them could be going home next week, we're not getting to see a lot of too.
We have no idea if they're even still. Is she still the octopus? We don't know that. We don't know. Is Big T still an octopus?
I don't know.
And we had Esther and Josh for a minute too, but Esther obviously went home. So there's been some flashes of relationships, but I think it's just because there's nothing of the
nothing to cling on to. There's nothing to cling on to, though. That's the problem for me. All right. Any other thoughts on the elimination tonight?
I was super impressed with Priscilla and Jeremiah, and their teamwork was stellar. And I'm glad they won because I would have been really frustrated if they lost because of the end part. That would have driven me crazy.
Priscilla makes the big move, which is so we finally, for at least this next week, we have only rookies and vets. So the vets are going to have to turn on each other. Do you girls have any predictions who they might go after at this point, or who might be in these elimination? Because there's going to be at least one vet,
Amber,
and then in theory,
she'll probably be the first vet to go. I think that some female competitors.
Big T, you think?
It could be Big T.
Oh,
Who did you say? I'm sorry, they got cut off. Who did you say?
Amber B clearly is not very popular.
Oh.
I also get a weird feeling about Tori. Even though Tori's been around and she's good, I think that Anissa was kind of her best friend in the house. And I don't know if a lot of veterans love her. I don't know.
I think they're scared of her, though. I do think she's a good competitor and people aren't going to start targeting her until they have to.
Yeah, but that's true. But I kind of think that even though she's such a good, strong vet, that she still doesn't have the politics necessarily on the side, that she could run into trouble with that sooner than later.
So here's the thing, ladies. Even they're going to have to put a rookie and vet in during nominations, okay? That team is going to be in there. However, then the rookie and vet that won that daily challenge, they can then, in theory, just put 2 more rookies in. So really only one vet will be in there with 3 rookies. And that's if the rookie and vet can agree on that, whatever. I hope they don't because I want to see what happens with that. But in theory, then only one vet would be in there. And the issue with that is if the rookies lose, the ones that are picked out of the audience, then 2 more rookies are gone. And then, then I guess that's good because then there'll be more vets. I don't know. It's weird to I don't know what the numbers are going to all shake out as.
And I think
back to Tori, I also think she's got a lot of male, like CT, Devin, that alliance, Kyle, she's in, and they want to run a final with her or whatever. So the girls might not love her and connect with her. I don't think they're like dislike her. I feel like Tori's likable and everyone kind of likes her. But I don't think since they're guy-girl partners, it's going to fly real hard because the guys don't want to see her go because she's a good competitor. That they would want to be part of that.
I think you're right. I'm just trying to think. I don't know who the vets will start to pick off.
Amber and Big T, I think, are the lowest,
Yes, they're the lowest.
The lowest with like allegiances to the vets.
Yeah.
And after that, let's think.
So wait, you could pick off who the rookie girls are with too. Like who's Bettina with right now?
Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Is she? And then who's Priscilla picked? Josh. You could put Priscilla and Josh. Boom.
They probably will.
You can go against Josh in a heartbeat.
Because Josh, his biggest alliance is really Casey and Fessy. Now Fessy's gone.
And isn't Ashley going to want to purposely go after Priscilla now because of what she did? Because Ashley has. So what if Ashley?
Yeah.
If Ashley wins next week, she's definitely going to put in Priscilla. She's just mad about it.
It really all depends on who's the agency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is key. Yes. Ladies, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I'm just excited that
Excited.
they've switched up the dynamic of the game.
Me too.
Agreed.
I liked tonight. I agree that there's not a lot of personal romantic investment. I agree there's nothing like keeping me like, oh, I need to see what happens with that next week. But now it's the overall game. I want to see,
Yeah.
will the vets maintain their power next week? So it's still, good.
Yeah, next week should be exciting just because finally a vet's going to go no matter what, unless if someone gets disqualified next week before that or something, I'd be so mad because then in theory they could just put a rookie down there to go against another rookie. So please, no one get injured, no one punch someone in the face. I want everybody down there so we can get at least one vet has to perform down there next week, guaranteed in the lair.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you all for joining us for episode 8, The Threat. And we will see you, guys and gals, next week for episode 9. And we're going to try to put something up on Patreon. Maybe, I don't know if there's a deep dive for this, but we can always look into some stuff.
Oh yeah. We'll do. Yeah. And also maybe we'll tease our Patreon. I sort of have a prediction based on the previews. So tune
Oh,
into
you
our
actually watched them,
Patreon.
Pam. I thought you didn't watch the previews.
I did tonight.
Oh, good.
By accident because I was sitting in a room with it on instead of just doing other stuff.
Got it.
So
All right.
I did.
We'll see y'all next week.